Ungodliness. AHaYaH, our mighty God, Savior and King, your servant David came to you to a time in his life when he felt as though he were drowning in flood of enemies who were trying to destroy him, yet you rescued him. I pray that you will rescue me from the floodwaters of trouble, AHaYaH, and I too will praise you as David praised you. Our King and Savior and mighty God, you are my rock, my mighty rock, my fortress, my protector. You are the rock where I am safe, AHaYaH. You are my shield, my powerful weapon, and my place of shelter. You rescue me and keep me from being hurt, and I praise you, AHaYaH, my King. Pray to you, and you rescued me from my enemies. Thank you. Death like ocean waves surrounded me, and I was almost swallowed by its flooding waters. Hopes from the world of the dead had coiled around me, and death had set a trap in my path. I was in terrible trouble when I called out to you, AHaYaH, but you, from your holy temple, you heard me and answered my prayer. You roared at the sea and its deepest channels. You reached down from heaven and you lifted me from deep in the ocean. You rescued me from enemies who were hateful and too powerful for me. Only you are a mighty rock, AHaYaH. You are my strong fortress, and you set me free. Thank you, AHaYaH, in Yeshua's name. But AHaYaH, when the flood of sin and ungodliness threatens my life and my family, I will call upon you as David did and proclaim. The voice of AHaYaH, my mighty God, echoes over the oceans. The glorious King, our mighty God, thunders above the roar of the raging sea, and his voice is mighty and marvelous. AHaYaH, our mighty God and King, rules on his throne, King of the flood forever. Pray that our King AHaYaH will make us strong and give us peace. Save me, O AHaYaH, my mighty God. I am about to drown. I am sinking deep in the mud, and my feet are slipping. I am about to sweep under my mighty flood, but I pray to you, AHaYaH, my King, so when the time is right, answer me and help me with your wonderful love. Don't let me sink in the mud, AHaYaH, but save me from my enemies and from the deep water. Don't let me be swept away by a flood or drown in the ocean or swallowed by death. Answer me, AHaYaH, I pray. You are kind and good and of tender mercies. Bless you. But AHaYaH, I am not afraid of the flood of unrighteousness and ungodliness that is rising in our nation. I know that you will save your people just as you promised in your word. By your power you made a path through the sea, and you smashed the heads of the sea monsters. You crushed the heads of the monster Leviathan, then fed him to wild creatures in the desert. You opened the ground for streams and springs and dried up mighty rivers. You rule the day and the night, and you put the moon and the sun in their place. Violent enemies are hiding in every dark corner of the earth. Don't disappoint those in need, AHaYaH, or make them turn from you, but help the poor and homeless to shout your praises in Yeshua's name. But AHaYaH, I will not fear the flood of ungodliness in our nation, for your word promises. Now you, AHaYaH, our mighty God and King, will get furious and do to his enemies, both near and far, what they did to his people. He will attack like a flood in a mighty whirlwind. Nations in the west and the east will then honor and praise his wonderful name, AHaYaH. AHaYaH, my King, the day will come when you will come in a flood of godliness and power, and all the floodwaters of sin and ungodliness will give way to the fresh floods of glory and power from you. Your word prophesies, and it will come to pass in what day that the mountains shall drip with new wine, and the hills shall flow with milk, and all the brooks of Judah shall be flooded with water. A fountain shall flow from the house of AHaYaH, our mighty God and King, and water the valley of Assias. For AHaYaH dwells in Zion. AHaYaH, I want my life to be built upon the strong rock of Yeshua, our Messiah, for then, when the flood of ungodliness sweep in, I will be like the wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain descended, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on the house, and it did not fall, for it was founded on the rock. And I thank you, AHaYaH, in Yeshua's name.